just got home from shopping. Getting ready to go in the house and do a little cooking. Hi, I'm Chet Lazzarino, and this is Cooking with Chet, and I got something real special for you today. This is an item called Rotolo Al Forno. So anyhow, the ingredients is for this stuffed bread, or Rotolo Al Forno, like I mentioned to you, are a traditional pizza dough, some prosciutto, some salami, some mozzarella cheese, and some mortadella. Now, listen, these are items that I've picked to make this, and I've changed the items every time I make it. I put something different. So you don't have to be limited to what you want to put into this particular loaf. Also use sun-dried tomatoes and basil, with a little garlic. Okay, now let me give you a little story. I found this recipe in someone's house that had a cookbook on their counter. And coincidentally, my wife's name is Rotolo, and I was intrigued by the fact that it said Rotolo Al Forno. So I read the recipe, I went home, and in a few days I decided to try to make it. And this is the recipe that I've come up with. And by the way, I don't know anybody that makes this besides my family. I've given the recipe to a few people, and they've done it, but I don't know anyone else that's ever made it. And maybe there are people out there that are making it, but I'd like to show you how I do it. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take this stuff off the table here. I'm going to start with my dough. So traditionally when you make a pizza, it's generally pretty round, but this particular dough has to be more of a rectangle than long, because you're going to roll it, and if it was a round pizza dough, it would be a little different. So we'll make a kind of a rectangle out of it. By the way, the pizza dough that I'm using is pre-packed, and I generally buy mine at Safeway. They also sell pizza dough at Trader Joe's that is good, and I've used that, but today we're using the one from Safeway, and hopefully it'll be just right. So I did mention to you that the ingredients are whatever you want, plus the sun-dried tomatoes, and you have several different ways of making it, but it all ends up being good, just at your own choice. All right, so basically what I have is kind of a rectangle here, and I'm going to apply all my products, and I'll show you how I do it. So everything that I mentioned to you before, I have all ready to go. The first thing I do is take some sun-dried tomatoes that I've applied some of the basil in, and I put it on the dough. By the way, this is a great item to bring to an event if you want to take something and share it with your host or hostess. And it always seems to be a pretty big hit in our family. I'm sure you'll enjoy doing it and using it as a gift as well. Okay, that's spread out kind of evenly there. So, I've already cut up all the items that I'd shown you earlier. That's a little easier to put on the pizza dough or the Rotolo Al Forno. So what I'll do is I'll start with some cheese here. Put some cheese on. This is mozzarella. Then then you can just start adding your meats. I've got these cut in strips that this way you can get them all over the plate, and kind of does a nice job of filling in all spots. So this gives you an idea of everything that's on there, and like I say, there's no set rule. You can put anything you want in. I put sausage in, I put mushrooms, I put onions, just any variety of things that suits your fashion. So now it looks like a pizza, but we're not going to make a pizza. So this is what I do. I start to roll it into a what I say, Rotolo Al Forno. Did I mention that that's rolled in the oven? As you roll it, you try to tuck the ends in so that when it's cooking, it's not busting out of the edges. Feels nice and full. A variety of flavors in there, so it should be a nice appetizer. Okay, so what I do when I get to the end, in order to try to seal it, I put a little olive oil down on the bottom of the dough, and just kind of wipe it along there so that when I get it down to the very end, I can kind of pinch it together. Make the seam nice and tight if possible. Now, on occasion, when you put this in the oven, you may have a little break, and it's possible that it'll leak a little bit. It doesn't hurt anything. It just seems to come out. Any way it comes out, it's good. What I do is I take and put it on a cookie sheet. This is going to go into the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And then what I'll do is I'll take it out of the oven and wash the top with a beaten egg, just to give it a little color. And well, I'll put it in the oven. We'll see what it looks like when I get it out. Okay, it's about time to take it out to wash the egg on it. So I'm going to bring it out, show you how I wash the egg, and we'll put it back in for a few more minutes. Starting to look nice. See a little oil seeping out, but don't worry about that. All right, ready to go back in the oven for another 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, time to take it out. So we'll grab it. Here we go. So, all right, we're out of the oven, and it's cooled for about 5 or 10 minutes here, and you have a couple choices. You can cut it up and eat it. If you want to take it someplace, you can wrap a towel around it, keep it warm. It's good served warm or cold, it doesn't matter. We had one here the other night, and we had it before dinner. It worked out nice. Cooled off a little bit, but everybody enjoyed it. So I'll show you how I cut it. Simple. I'm going to cut it at an angle like this. Oh, it's hot. pretty much the way it looks. It's got a nice roll, and all of the meat is separated in different areas. You get different flavors. Okay. Salud.